Hey, Megan Scully, and this is the Limerick Post Show, and I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Aina. Aina, I've been watching you for years on television, so it's an absolute honour to be chatting to you.
It's lovely to be talking to yourself on this wonderful new technology. I hope I'm managing it well enough.
I know, isn't it so? It's so funny how now Zoom has become the norm. We're all doing it. It's like all the TV stations, radio stations, online work, like everyone is using it now.
And it's great. Will we ever go back to the old ways, I wonder?
Yeah, I know, and I think that too. I think it's great though. It just shows that like we're able to chat to each other now, and I've been able to chat to people from like pretty much anywhere in the world because of this. So it's really, in one way, it's really connecting everyone as well.
That's this indeed. Well, anyway, I'm here to tell you about biodiversity because this week is National Biodiversity Week. And every year this week is all to do with celebrating nature. And of course, because of the way things are this year, the big Biodiversity Day is actually going to be Friday rather than having events for the whole week. So what Limerick is doing is they are having events for the whole week, if you like, because you, the people of Limerick, are the events. What you're doing is you're going out and you're taking the garden, or whether it's nearby or whether it's within your 5 kilometre distancing, you can go out and do all of this. And this is being done by Team Limerick Cleanup because they're running this, and they have loads and loads of prizes for everybody, which is really good.
I saw that there's some super prizes. I was supposed to have to know for Team Limerick Cleanup, one of the biggest events we have in our calendar year with them is Good Friday, when everyone gets out and cleans up all the rubbish around the city and county. And they have to say it's been incredible years on the amount of rubbish they've collected. But obviously this year it has to be cancelled. But it's great to see something like this. And I think we touched on it there about how we're using Zoom. And this is so how people can use social media to get involved with them, biodiversity. And I think that's one thing I've noticed, and I'm loving it even around the city centre, is how they are leaving the grass to grow wild. And that's what we need to see.
Well, what they're doing is they're not mowing it so that the wildflowers that are in among the grass will actually grow. I mean, would you grow if your head was chopped off?
Well, that's very true. And there's a road, Condell Road out here, and there's dog daisies all over it, and it's fabulous.
Well, what you have to do now for this competition is go out and stay very quietly beside one of those big daisies and wait until an insect lands on it, and then get your picture. And then you have both the flower and the lovely insect that's come to the flower, because the insect is coming because the insect really thinks this is the pub and it's coming for a drink of nectar. It doesn't say to itself, I'm going to pollinate the flowers, I'm going to be a good insect. Couldn't give a hoot. What it's doing is it's going for a jar. Off to the daisy, sticks in its head, gets a drink, says that's very nice, I'd like another one, flies to the next flower, does it again, and all the pollen that was on and stuck to it, because they're big hairy insects, goes from one to the other. So you, with your camera sitting watching this, could get lovely action shots, not just of the daisy, which is always very nice, but you'd also get the insect as well, and you'd spend time and be patient and look at it, and you'd be aware of how important it is to have these places for our pollinating insects. And they can be flies, they can be hoverflies, they can be bees, there's lots of different ones. So you could do, so that would be one way of taking your picture, and that would be great. I mean, this was launched on Friday last, and already we've loads of pictures already been sent in to the various social media outlets, and we can talk about how you send them in a moment. But we've had pictures of snails, because obviously people went out when it was wet and they got the snail and they waited, and the Shelly Pookie had all his horns sticking out. Do you know that snails have their noses on their horns? So they have 4 noses, and all these horns are sticking out. It's a really good shot. That's a lovely one. And there's ones of dandelions, the big dandelion clocks, and you blow them and you can tell the time. They're lovely when they're in focus, and there's some lovely ones of those in. And people have been looking at places they've made, habitats they've actually created. So you could have bug hotels, you could have places where insects can come and have food for themselves, or shelter. And these are all things that you do. So the biodiversity competition is to get pictures, but it's also, and really important, is to make you aware of the different areas where wildlife live in Limerick, in your garden. Sure, as well included.
And it's incredible too, because I think it's to get people outside. We're probably looking at this week, we actually have nice weather promised, so there's no excuse not to get out.
Oh, well, absolutely not. But I mean, even if the weather isn't good, I mean, wildlife has to be out in all weathers. So, you know, you get lovely pictures of things in the sunshine. That's gorgeous. But what does a bird do when it rains? What happens when it gets wet? Do all the snails and slugs come slithering out? So the weather is no excuse now. Obviously, it's easier if the weather is lovely. But you know, we want everybody doing it, and it isn't just the grown-ups. I mean, grown-ups have their mobile phones and off they go, but there's lots of teenagers, and we hear nothing, only the bored teenagers, the poor things. What are they going to do? Well, I'm telling you what to do. Oh, teenagers of Limerick, out you go and get wonderful pictures, because teenagers have a great eye for things.
Yeah.
And they need necessarily be beautiful pictures that you'd have in an art gallery because it's beautiful. You could have one that's in an art gallery because it's quirky, because it's interesting. Something is doing something that's curious, and that you say, I didn't know that. And so you want to be observing. So teenagers can get lovely pictures because they have great patience to be doing this. And of course, children, of course, that they're always so they can work with the buttons and get the pictures and send up the best ones. It's good to have them in focus. Sometimes it's hard to get something in focus. So take a whole load and then edit them out and, you know, make them big and change the colour and Photoshop them and make them look absolutely gorgeous. Now, Limerick is full of wildlife because you have the Shannon, you have the sea, you have the city itself, you have the city walls, you have the gardens. There's loads of places where you can actually get pictures of birds up in the electric wires. Take a picture of that and zoom in on it, and you'll see maybe it's a swallow, maybe it's a starling. It looks a black yolk if you just look at it. But if you take it and you put your picture and then, you know, close up on it, you wouldn't know what you might see in actual fact, that you can see more with your camera than when you get a camera with your own eyes. So this is great. And of course, when you do that, then they all get sent in, and there's very important judges judging them. I'm one of the very important judges judging them. Well, I'm not the most important one, because we have people that are judging. I'm just looking at my list of the judges now, and we have Des Cahill, of course, who's from RTE as well. We have Roisin Upton, who's the international hockey player from Limerick, so she's going to be a judge. And of course, who else would we couldn't possibly have a competition without the hurling team mentioned. And we have Declan Hannon, who's the Limerick hurling captain, and he's going to be a judge as well. So we've all got to be impressed by these wonderful pictures and see what is the talent in Limerick that's going to be displayed for us. So I really reckon, I'm looking forward to this. I've got some already and they're really whetting my appetite. So I'm looking forward for more to be coming in actual fact. Now I'm just looking at my piece of paper here, and it says to enter, you're urged to follow the Team Limerick Cleanup Facebook page or Instagram account, and that's at Team Limerick Cleanup. And you should post your photos using the hashtag BiodiversityTLC and tag Limerick Cleanup. But people will know all of this, and you can get the information on the teamlimerickcleanup.ie. That's the website. So we want to have thousands and thousands. I want to be judging these for the next 3 weeks at least. So the closing day Friday the 5th of June. So it's not just Biodiversity Day this Friday. You have a whole 2 weeks. You have the bank holiday weekend. You have the good weather, you might have some wind, you might have some rain, you could maybe take the same picture on a good day and on a day that's not so good, and see what different things you might notice. Even I'm looking here now at my own window, and there's pigeons over there on the roof. Now, pigeons, I mean, I ask you, the pigeons, you couldn't believe what the pigeons are up to. They're chasing each other around the roof, they're leaping on top of each other. One is pretending she loves them and then she flies away in the middle of it. These are the same old pigeons that I've been seeing for years. I never saw such carry on in my life. And if I had a lens now on these, only I don't live in Limerick, I'm up in Dublin, I'm telling you, I could have the X-rated pictures of these pigeons if I wasn't careful. So this is the kind of thing we want, to observe and take snaps.
My balcony actually has got lovely cobwebs in it from the spiders, and I actually have to say I enjoy like seeing what they create, because they're just I suppose they're just magic. And then sometimes when there's a bit of the sunset or sunrise and just hits off the cobwebs, it's just beautiful.
And if you had some kind of a bottle, you know, a very light spray like mist, and you sort of mist over your cobwebs, they really light up and glisten. So not only have you the lovely cobweb shapes, because each spider species makes a different shaped cobweb. They're not all the same at all by any means. So if you sprayed it nicely, and then you got the lovely little droplets glistering in the sunlight, you not only would have a cobweb, but you'd have a work of art as well. So that would be something to do. And also you can do things like lure in the wildlife. So you can put out maybe a jar of jam or a saucer full of marmalade and see what land on it and wait with your camera. Or you can go out at night and look in your garden at night with your torch to see what appears. You can put out a pitfall trap in the garden, which is dig a hole, put down your jam jar, leave it there, and in the morning see what fell into it. You might get a big black beetle, or you might get something like a bee or something like this. You wouldn't get a bee at night, obviously, but I mean, you get a beetle, you get a spider in your jar. And if you have them fairly cool, they won't run away when you get your picture. I'm not saying put them in the freezer or anything, but you know, if you have them inside for a bit and they're not getting too warm, because they're all cold-blooded, all those insects, and they need the sunlight to warm them up. So if you could get them before they could run away too quickly, you'd be in business. And you can't believe when you go up to detail, the detail of their eyes, the detail of the colour on their wings. All of these creatures have lovely, lovely colours if we went to look at them properly. So you can always lure them to you with a light, with some food, and wait there sneakily with your camera to see what arrives. You could be all day getting one shot. You could be all week getting one shot. And we've great prizes too. There's loads of prizes. So, you know, you could win all kinds of lovely things that you didn't even know you wanted until you got them in the prize.
I know, I saw there's a Fitbit in there now, and my Fitbit's about to give up, so I'll
About
tell
to
you.
expire, yes indeed. I'm just looking at the list. GoPros, Fitbits, camera equipment, garden centre vouchers. I think I'll move to Limerick forthwith and immediately so I can apply too.
I'll have to head up now in and go out with my camera and see what I can get. And I'll have to warn my housemates that I may be on the balcony tonight with a torch trying to get photos of some wildlife as well.
Absolutely, indeed. Why not? And I'm looking forward. Their names will be on them, but you can't be chatting up the judges now. You have to take an orderly queue. That'll be great. You know, there's loads in already, and I want loads more. So get snapping.
As we said, Team Limerick Cleanup for all the details. It runs until June 5th. Hashtag biodiversity TLC to get involved. Aina, it's an absolute pleasure to chat to you and to learn more about biodiversity. And I can't even wait now to see the photos.
Good stuff.